this bloke. Put me on him. I'm your man. Was it like that or not?
Trust the coaches with that one, so just whatever job needs to be done. But in all honesty, we don't really mind too much with matchups down there. We like to be a pretty flexible defence.
Yeah, so you hadn't stood Lynch before in your career, or you had?
No, I don't. No, I hadn't. I was probably more on Revolt in the past, I reckon.
Okay, yes, fair enough too. Yeah, well, you put him in a jar and you didn't let the lid off, mate, so well done. Hey, Soldo, I thought he gave us an even look. We finished even in hit-outs, clearances, which is all our mids need, I reckon.
Yeah, 100%. I personally thought he was great all day. I reckon he limited the effect of their ruckman and gave our boys some good looks, so no, it was awesome to see him playing well.
In the third quarter, we did need a lift after letting probably the momentum get away from us in that second quarter. But I thought in the midfield where it has to start, Wines with his clearance work, Butters just exceptional. Willem Drew, I just thought was almost the difference in the game.
Yeah, the boys put on a bit of a clinic in that third term. Half-time we were challenged by Ken, especially with that contested footy, and as you mentioned, all those boys went to work in there.
How important for you is the continuity in that back six? There's you, Alir, Radaglia and the others. Is it important to gel?
Oh, 100%. When you work as a unit instead of individually, it's a lot better. So for us to be able to work well together and have confidence in each other is really important. And I think you'll see each week we play together that it'll continue to grow, and our best is yet to come.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that could be a really strong little area of growth for Port. So who's the general down there, Brandon? Who's the one that does the most talking and instruction?
Oh, geez. I think we all try and chip in a fair bit with being the general, but Alir's really strong for us in that area.
Okay.
Then we've got Dan Houston as well across the halfback, and all the boys are really good in that space, and when you have a very vocal back six, it's really helpful.
Okay. Do you have confidence down there if, I don't know, let's say Alir said, you go to Lynch, you said, no, I'll pick up such and such?
As I said before, we like to be pretty flexible.
Good on you.
So it doesn't really matter who we play on. We like to think of ourselves as a bit of a unit. No one's really too
good.
picked out or anything. So we back each other.
Got a word or two about Boki. You just played your 53rd game. You're only 297 behind him. I mean, isn't that phenomenal when you even just say that number, Brandon?
Oh, yeah. I know, it's every AFL player just wants to play one game. So, yeah, for 350 of them, that's pretty impressive. So, it was just a privilege to be out there with him and help him get that win.
Well done.
Just at the club, who has surprised you, either football-wise or personality-wise, that you thought, no, I didn't expect that?
Cool. I think just the importance of Willem Drew in our midfield, and he goes under the radar a fair bit, but he's such a reliable player, and he has some really good games, and he's probably surprised me a fair bit.
DBJ, kicked 3 goals, none better than the left foot volley. Now, has he brought it up to anybody post-game, or does he keep that to himself?
No, I personally haven't heard anything, but it's pretty good, wasn't it?
I'd be bragging about it all day long. I'm disappointed if Darcy hasn't. You got to take advantage of a goal like that.
Jeez, I wish I kicked it. Yeah.
Exactly, mate. And just finish it off, mate. Anybody you like matching up on Melbourne, because they're a good quality side. Anybody you like playing against?
Not too particularly. I don't really know who I'll play on, but we'll be pretty flexible back there, so back each other in.
It should be a quality game. Don't worry about that. You're up against a quality outfit, and hopefully on the big contest that you're able to take the points.
Yeah, they're a good side, so we'll take our best. Looking forward to it.
Excellent, mate. Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.
No worries, boys. Thanks for having me.
That's
Well
Brandon
done.
Zerk-Thatcher, one of the key defenders for Port Adelaide in their victory against Richmond by 30 points.
Okay, let's go to Linden Park. Hello, Eugene.
G'day, lads. How are you?
Yeah,
You
good.
want to talk about shorter games or extra games? Or...
Yeah, no. See, I am against shorter games. If you shorten the games, you're gonna exclude a whole lot of players who are these fitness freaks, who are these guys that work hard, that might not be the explosive guys that can, sprint 100 metres in 10.5 seconds, but they're the guys that at the end of the quarter, they're still running because they've got a tank. All right, you shorten the games, the Paddy Dangerfields will love you for it because it means they can go harder for longer, but you want the all-round players, and you don't want to exclude these guys that work hard and might not be as skilled, but put the effort in.
No, it's a great point. And they're the favourite players, those ones. They grind you. Teams like Centrals won 9 of 11 grand finals because they just did it longer for harder.
Yeah.
And that was their key. They were no better than any team, but you just had to just take it from them. I love teams that have that trait.
I'm a bit with you. I mean, I wasn't into the, what would you say, the explosiveness. I was into the, I'm going to make it a marathon.
Yeah, nor was I. This is what I do. Who wants a shorter game but more games? What's your magic number? So here's my magic number. If you look at the EPL soccer, they've got FA Cup, Euro Cup leagues, Champion League, and they play 38 home and away games.
Correct.
Play each other home and away. You could possibly play 40-plus games.
Yeah,
now,
easy.
we're morphing into soccer, aren't we? We're a little bit more non-contact.
Well, let's not say that.
Well, 2 metre Peter just got rubbed out for 4 weeks.
I like where you're going, though.
Now,
Keep going.
This is what I'd do. 25-minute quarters, no time
Flat.
on. It's flat. So you know the 25-minute, bang, the siren goes. So imagine the excitement, because time on you never really know, really. You do.
And they've got a ball that they can just pull out off the boundary line now.
Yeah, any
behind the
time
goals.
wasting. And you watch people just get into it, throw the ball up quicker and all that sort of stuff. Play each other twice home and away. So that's 34 games until, obviously, they come in, Tasmania. No pre-season games. So you're like a mouse coming out of a sugar bag. You hit round one.
Keen as.
None of this, none of that. Just straight into games. No buys. You have 15 extra players on your list.
Wow.
Now, those 15 extra could come from, there's 2 at Nord, there's 1 there, there's a couple there. You know what I mean? And you put them in
so
when your list struggles.
Right.
So I need a ruckman, but on my supplementary list, I've got Tim Ginnivan.
They're a break glass list.
They're a break glass list.
Only if needed.
If needed. Because you've lost 2 ruckmen.
So you've got 45 on your list, but with 15 that you can tap into.
That's exactly right. You have to definitely have a national reserves comp. But here's the kicker for me. You get $5 million for finishing top at the end of the home and away.
Right.
Or $10 million, pick a number.
Yep.
Make that a real cherished
That's an incentive.
incentive.
We
and
finished top
award.
of the league and we were rewarded for it.
And we don't have wild card games. We don't have a
None of
top
that.
8. We have a top 5.
Okay. Ooh.
Wow.
So the top team has the week off.
So when
That would
Tassie
be-
come in, there's 19 teams. Only 5 play finals.
That's exactly right.
You're not
Well, when
rewarding.
you look at the Premier League, if you finish top 4, you strive for
You
that
get all the
blue chip.
rewards.
You get all the rewards and you get all the money. First week off, that team, 2 plays 3.
We know how it
4
works
plays
because
5.
it's still in the
Yeah,
sample.
And it's still in the sample.
Yeah. Right.
Bang.
So 14 teams, bad luck.
Bad luck.
Yeah. You
You're
weren't
not
good
good
enough.
enough.
Yeah.
You're not good enough.
What does that do for the end of a season of football when there's about half a dozen games that just are irrelevant? They're not pushing for finals anymore.
Haven't thought that through enough.
It's a good theory. Have you say 8
Yeah.
double
Well,
2 3 double
once
double.
upon a time, that's what
That's what happened.
That's what happened.
Yeah. Have you say
Now
footy
they keep
fans?
it alive deliberately for that reason.
Because we're propping up mediocrity.
Yeah, I like where you're going, Stephen. I just don't think the AFL will like where you're going.
No, they want to go the other way and get wild card round and
They
get 10
do.
teams in the finals.
They do.
Have you say we'd love your theories and thoughts around this. More games in a footy season. 8 double 2 3 double O double O. We'll take more of your calls in a moment, but first,
I'm Timmy G.
Oi! Oi! Oi!
we know this means we are giving away more 5AA locker room tickets. Port and Melbourne go head-to-head at the Adelaide Oval Saturday night. It's going to be a game not to miss. 8223 0055. We'll play the quiz next. First, let's check your roads.
Afternoon at Ashford, a crash to look out for. Anzac Highway near the hospital. Smithfield, a crash there too. Yulee Road near Main North Road, and Crayfords West, a breakdown on the freeway causing a few delays there. Slow going at Old Noarlunga, Victor Harbour Road near Main South Road, with the camera at Duthie Street at Malvern. Head to Snooze and save up to 50% off mattresses, plus take an extra 10% off mattresses for a limited time only. Hurry, sail on now. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G.
The biggest names in football. AFL live on 5AA.
Catch every game live and local with South Australia's best call team.
And he kicks a beauty!
Stephen Rowe, Tim Ginniver, Will Goodings, Tom Wren, Sam Tugwell, Warren Treadray and Scott Camporeale.
Bang! What a beautiful leg! What a kick!
There's only one destination for AFL in Adelaide.
Puts a cherry on top. 5AA. All things AFL. He's got it! Always Adelaide.
It's official, prawn season has begun and SA King Prawns is the place to go for the freshest catch. When Tony, Heather and their crew aren't at sea, they're selling their delicious catch in the SA King Prawn Store in Edinburgh North and SA Farmers Market, FIVEAA. Pick up 5 kilos of raw prawns from $60. Buy 2 or more 5 kilo cartons, get $5 off per carton. SA King Prawns, open 6 days at 15 Hewitson Road, Edinburgh North. Sundays only at the SA Farmers Market, FIVEAA.
Okay, everyone, I've got the KFC. With KFC's $8 boxes, you can shout your mates and your mate's very attractive friend. Just pick from original recipe, wicked wings, original tenders or nuggets. KFC's $8 boxes. They're a great shout.
Not everywhere and not forever. Online only. T's and C's apply.
5AA's Tech Talk with your host, Adelaide tech guy Richard Pascoe. Thanks to Harvey Norman Computers.
Whether it's the latest Samsung Galaxy S24 or the latest Apple iPhone 15, Harvey Norman has you covered. Head in store to sign up to a new up to $69 a month, 24-month SIM-only plan. And you'll get unlimited calls and texts to standard numbers and 100 gigabytes of data for use in Oz. Plus, you'll receive an $800 Harvey Norman gift card when you sign up. Tell them I sent you and you'll score a further $100 gift card. That's $900 towards your new phone. With a deal this good, there's some fine print. Minimum plan costs $1,656 over 24 months. Maximum of 5 gift cards per account. Read contracts and rate plan changes excluded. Plan cancellation fees apply. See in store for details.
Check out this great offer at a Harvey Norman store near you.
We love the TJM equipped team. One of the best ways to see our country.
Oi!
I'm going to sing my own theme one day. I don't even have one. If you want to get there, you've got to be TJM equipped. If you want to go out and see our state.
Oh, well, we've been down there and had a look at the new showroom at Nailsworth. We've had a chat to Italo. And the big thing about it is their stuff is built for our country. It's what you've got to get the best stuff.
It's Australian.
If you want to go out in the outback of South Australia, you've got to have the best stuff. And I'm telling you, get there, go out there, and there's no turning back. You'll love it.
It's made in Australia for Australian conditions.
Correct.
It's not made north of the equator up through the East Timor Sea, a little bit to the left.
In the Netherlands.
That's exactly right.
What's the point?
I was going to say China, but everyone knew I was saying that.
Yeah.
Put on a container shipping out here. No, it's here.
It's here.
You get the roof racks, the camping gear, the snorkels, the bull bars, the driving lights. They've got it all. You've got to check out their new renovated store, TJM store at Nailsworth. Outstanding.
Best going around. So visit TJM in either Nailsworth or Clovelly Park. The major sponsor, guess what, of tonight's fishing show, 6:30 with Ned McHenry. Your beauty.
Treat your family and friends to something a little fancy from FIVEAA, your family liquor stores. Autumn brings some stunning colours and amazing SA-made wine varieties like smooth and fruity Pinot Noir, Tempranillo and Grenache. We have exciting new vodkas and gins and lovely liqueurs to mix with if you prefer a Negroni, Gimlet or Espresso Martini. And beer aficionados can always browse our craft beers, including hazy pales. FIVEAA, your local independent SA family liquor store for over 45 years.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
8 minutes to 5. We're heading into Coach's Corner at 5 o'clock. Scotty Camporeale will be joining us. Anthony Koutoufides is in town next week. He'll be joining us later on as well. And Ned McHenry from the Crows. After their 0-2 start, he'll talk about how the Crows are going to face up against the Dockers. And we'd love your calls as well, 8223 0000. But first, we're giving away locker room tickets. 'Cause I'm Timmy G.
The most sought-after tickets on our show for the week at the 5AA Locker Room tickets. You'll love them. Hello, Fabian.
Howdy, boys.
Here's Timmy.
G'day, Fabian. You've got to guess the number, okay?
Done.
All the best. What was the first Guernsey number that Robbie Gray wore for Port Adelaide?
Fabian.
Yes.
Quick.
19.
Thank you, Fabian. Jason, did you hear
17.
the question?
Yeah, mate, 17.
17?
just
Jeez, how
like
good
that.
are you, Jason? What? Congratulations. You obviously knew that, did you, mate?
Yeah, absolutely. How can you not? Robbie Gray's a champion.
Well done. So that's outstanding. And you know what? Because your knowledge is so good, you're going to the 5AA locker room, my friend. It's going to be an awesome day for you. Playing Melbourne as well, Easter Saturday night, 7 o'clock. Who will you take, Jace?
Probably my good mate. Go to the footy with him every week, so it'd be great.
Oh, you're going to love it, mate. You get to see the team warm up, sing the song, you name it, and drink and plenty to eat. You'll love it.
They'll beat Melbourne too. Is May out?
I think May
Their
definitely
best
will be
defender?
out.
Yeah,
It's levers the question mark. Yep. It's a big out.
Unique Homestyle Food text. When do the Socceroos play? Tonight.
Correct.
Yes. Lebanon in Canberra, 7:15.
Yeah, it was supposed to be an away game, but there was security risk that they couldn't
Craig
take.
Goodwin's back as well, which
That's
is great.
excellent.
Which they were saying he sets up Harry Suter. Harry's the big, the big rooster, and he can set him up and
Put it
just
on a
lobs
dime.
it on his head, and
Put it on a
bang,
dime.
in she goes.
Bum.
Here's another great text.
Bum. Sam Brown.
Thank you very much. Afternoon, Tim. Give me a good reason why Port continue to wear that insipid volleyball white kit in away games. I asked the question last year, but my text wasn't read out, and I can live with the grey strip, but that white one, no, I cannot. Please, says Rob. Yeah, I'm with you. I know an away strip or a clash strip, as they call it, that you've got to design and get out. That they've been hard, and I think they've been hard for Port. I haven't really seen one that I've gone, yeah, I love that. And I'm with him. An all-white one just reminds me of an umpire in the 70s.
Who?
Just any umpire.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Did you
They
like
used
the
to all
grey
wear
one?
white.
They did too.
Port had a grey one a couple of years
There's
ago.
another
they've had
tradition gone.
Yeah, the sort
wasn't
of
bad.
silver, if you like. But
I reckon our umpires, the goal umpires, have got to wear those jackets with a white top hat.
Oh, that was a great hat, wasn't it?
Remember that?
That was a
Can
great
you remember
hat.
that? You
Yeah,
probably
the
can.
science coat.
The long
trench coat,
science
basically.
coat
Yeah.
with the white top hat.
There's nothing better if you go on and have a look at the goal umpire in the 70s that gets brushed by a player and then he wobbles
Falls
around
down,
and just falls down with his legs in
That's
the air.
right.
It's one of the great acts of all time.
But there's no theatrics with them. They don't run back to the middle and do the big puff the chest and poke the fingers out. They just go bang.
David Roden's got a bit about him.
Yeah,
He does. He's theatrical.
He's got a little cheeky smile about him. He was a great dancer as well, so I like him, and you can't do too much.
No, you got to wave the flags once.
Yeah.
Put
do
them back.
something. Billy,
Hello, Ange.
Go, Ange.
G'day, guys. How are you?
Good, buddy. What are you thinking of extra games, extra time, whatever?
Well, the way I see it, NBA play 70-odd games, 48 minutes. Now, they'd have to be pretty fit, yeah? So why can't we do shorter games, get rid of the interchange cap? Because let's be honest, what is the interchange cap doing? How is it hurting the game? What's the issue?
Well, firstly, they were worried about the speed of the game actually causing more collisions and more issues, and coaches were actually abusing it to the point where it got up to 160.
But how many injuries? I would love to know, have we had since we brought this cap in compared to beforehand? Because it seems we're having more and more injuries every year.
What they're trying to do, Ange, is actually slow it down at points so that there isn't as many collisions to try and control the injury take. But I think, Ange, we don't play on muddy ovals anymore. The ovals are all so pristine and so well looked after that they're always hard.
Yeah. Now, Ange, you talk about the NBA and their short games. I sat and watched the Golden State Warriors play the LA Lakers. I think it was last weekend with James. The last 40 seconds went for 21 minutes or 19 minutes or something ridiculous.
Ridiculous, that is.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Taking the mickey.
They're taking the P155.
Oh, dear. So, Sam, sorry.
No, I'm just reading a text here, which is just around your theory as well, Rowey, around the EPL and how you've got your top 34 weeks, The only thing missing, says Craig, you need relegation and promotion of the bottom two. Would you do anything around that? Because you've only got your 19 teams.
Anything that gets my Nord in, but...
If you get creative with the state leagues around the place.
How do you rid that?
I don't think that works.
You know that where your top 5 could work is if they separated, half the comp. Then you could have top 5. You end up in that conference type situation.
Let's stop rewarding mediocrity.
I know where you're going.
And let's stop saying it's fair when it's not. Let's admit it's a compromised comp.
Sam, you always love your NFL and the like. The thing about winning the conference, how do they celebrate that?
They celebrate it quite a lot. They get the shirts, the caps. It's a big thing if you're the champion of your conference.
It's still a big thing.
It is still a reasonably big thing.
In the town.
There's a trophy.
It's big.
Yep. You get a ring?
Yeah.
You don't get a ring for it, but you do get a small trophy, and there's a lot of recognition around the conference champions.
Okay,
yes.
but Super Bowl champion.
But if you win the league, of course, that is the ultimate glory. You know who's got good ideas? Scott Camporeale, who's going to be in here after the 5 o'clock news. We'll get his thoughts on that as well very shortly. And if you've got some as well, get involved. 8223 0000.
Rowey and Timmy G on the FIVEAA Sports Show.
Around 2,300 Australian children live with childhood dementia. But where there's hardship, there's local legends hard at work. Little Heroes Foundation is dedicated to finding treatments and, in time, a cure for childhood dementia. They're teaming up with High Fresh Salads so you too can make a difference. Purchase any High Fresh Salads products with the Little Heroes Foundation logo, and a portion of the proceeds support children living with dementia. Find High Fresh Salads at your local independent supermarket and greengrocer.
How far would you go for your dream kitchen? And how far would you go to get 25% off? How about 15 minutes up the freeway to Balhanna Kitchens by Design? 2, the largest showroom in the Adelaide Hills. Custom build your dream with our award-winning designers. And get 25% off your cabinets with laminate bench tops. For a limited time, of course. Balhanna Kitchens by Design. It's not too far to go to make your dream a reality. balhannakitchens.com.au.
It's Edward here from Edwardstown Mazda.
Thanks, Edward. I've got this. And it's big news.
How big?
Really big. Edwardstown Mazda have extended their sale with huge Mazda factory bonuses across a wide range of Mazdas. Plus, get a $2,000 trade-in bonus on top of your trade-in price. Only available at Edwardstown Mazda.
Wow.
I know, right? Wow.
Plays the jingle sing.
It's gotta be
Edwardstown Mazda. T's and C's apply.
Local news and information first. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Clear tonight, down to 13. Mostly sunny tomorrow, 25. With the 5 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher.
Electrical issues? Ken Hall Plumbers also provide electrical services. For reliable electrical services, give Ken a call.
There are only 2 survivors after a fishing boat off Port Lincoln was hit by a monster wave yesterday. Confirmation coming late this afternoon that 3 of the 5 on board have died. A 44-year-old man and a 13-year-old boy, both from Torrens Park, were located on a reef and winched to safety. They have non-life-threatening injuries. A third person from the boat was located deceased early this morning in the vicinity. Just after 9 a.m, a 4th person was located deceased, also near the vessel. And around 2 this afternoon, the body of the 5th and final person from the overturned vessel was located. Police are now preparing reports for the coroner. There's still no definitive result in the seat of Dunstan following Saturday's by-election, but the gap is narrowing. The Liberals are now sitting at 49% two-party preferred, with Labor on 51%, but Cressida O'Hanlon is still expected to win the seat. More than 6,000 postal and pre-poll votes have now been counted. A man will face court after cannabis plants were located at his home. 6 plants and a small amount of dried cannabis were discovered at the Moonta Bay residence. The 46-year-old has been reported for cultivation. Hundreds gathered in Melbourne today to remember Jesse Baird at a memorial service. Jesse and his partner Luke were killed in Sydney last month. Jesse's mum Helen says her heart is broken.
My beautiful, precious, loving, generous, caring and talented boy, our hearts and lives are changed forever and there is less sparkle in the world. I promise to fight for you and to make you proud.
Car manufacturers and the government have reached a deal on planned fuel efficiency standards, but the opposition still has concerns about the plan. Zach De Silva reports.
After weeks of talks with the car industry, the Albanese government has unveiled its revised vehicle efficiency standard. It's aimed at boosting imports of electric and low-emissions cars, but in a string of concessions to manufacturers, pollution restrictions have been watered down for some vehicles. Federal Transport Minister Catherine King has told Parliament it's a good compromise.
This is how you actually make good policy.
But the opposition's Bridget McKenzie says it's still unclear whether the changes will affect the price or availability of popular vehicles.
This Labor's policy fails to strike a balance.
Parliament will begin debating the reforms on Wednesday.
Now turning to 5AA sport.
Armani, Canali, Xenia. Find them all at Ignition for Men, Adelaide's home of luxury menswear, 54 Paynham Road, Stepney.
Essendon's Peter Wright is facing the AFL tribunal over his collision with Sydney's Harry Cunningham. St Kilda's Max King will also appear before the tribunal tonight. Jason Horne-Francis will miss the Port Demons clash on Easter Saturday. After being unable to get through training today with his hamstring strain, he'll be rested again this weekend. Well, Brisbane recruit Tom Doedee is expected to be named for his Lions debut in the grand final rematch on Easter Thursday at the Gabba. The former Crow says he's not feeling the external pressure as the Lions seek their first win of the year against the reigning premiers.
I put a lot of pressure on myself, like I always have since I started sports at 6 or 7 years old. Like I've just always wanted to perform. So I don't feel like any external pressure's getting to me in that regard.
And the SANFL has agreed to adopt the AFL's new concussion recommendations, a move that will see players who suffer a head knock sidelined for 21 days. It takes effect from round 1, which starts Thursday night. Now checking 5AA traffic.
The Paradise Hotel. Open all Easter weekend, including Good Friday. Try the buffet salad and veg bar.
At Marion Road, look out for works at Cowandilla, so Donald Brabham Drive there, pretty slow. Also a bit of activity at Glenelg North, Anzac Highway near Douglas Grove, and slow at the moment at Dry Creek to North-South motorway near the Wingfield interchange. Super sluggish, Tapley's Hill Road at Glenelg North with Cameras Grange Road, Hawthorn, and Oaklands Road at Warradale. Play for $1.6 billion in the USA Mega Lotto and get more zeros in your life. The world's biggest lotteries are at the Lottery Office. Play now at lotteryoffice.com.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Down to 13, clear tonight, mostly sunny tomorrow 25, sunny on Thursday 26, Friday sunny 29. Right now it's 22 degrees. Now let's check what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Kate Collins. Tonight, the latest on the Port Lincoln fishing venture that turned to tragedy. A boat with 5 on board capsizes. The tax office admits rejecting calls to fudge waiting times. The SANFL split over concussion rules for players. And exclusive data on just how much your peak hour commute has blown out by. 9 News, your news, nightly at 6 on 9 and on 9 Now.
NRG Solar have moved to a new location. It's bigger and better, and their new warehouse is fully stocked with wholesale solar and battery equipment. So, if you're looking to save money on electricity and help our environment, don't wait. Visit NRG Solar at their new office on South Road St Mary's, where every 3 customers refer someone they know, which means they must be doing something right. Call into NRG Solar at their new premises, 1275 South Road, or visit nrgsolar.com.au.
It's no surprise that Alfred James Funeral Homes is there for families in their time of need. They've been doing so for over 100 years. What may be surprising is the lengths they'll go to help you pay tribute to the life journey of your loved one. A song choice that's unconventional. A eulogy that's both heartwarming and hilarious. Oh, and launching their ashes into orbit on a SpaceX rocket. Pre-plan yours with us now. Alfred James Funeral Homes, honouring lives in extraordinary ways.
Roll up, roll up. Elmo's Circus Dream is coming to Adelaide for the first time. Catch all the fun of this fantastic theatre show with Elmo, his Sesame Street friends and amazing circus stars. Join Elmo and his friends as they discover their hidden circus talents with singing, dancing, acrobatics, illusions and much more. It'll be an unforgettable day of great family fun at Elmo's Circus Dream in Adelaide for a limited time from March 30. Get your tickets now at sesamestreetcircus.com.au.
Streaming live via the 5AA Player app on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. This is 5AA, always Adelaide.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
7 minutes after 5 here on this Tuesday afternoon. Still to come on the program, we have Anthony Koutoufides, who's coming to town next week for Gather Round. Looking forward to chatting with the big Cooter. We've got Ned McHenry on in a little while's time, and we would love your thoughts on a longer footy season. With the idea of extending out to 24 games, do you like it? Do you dislike it? Have you say 8223 0000. We can tune in now to the Foodland live stream, Facebook and YouTube, because you might see the unique home-style foods on display right in front of our man, Camporeale.
On the 5AA Sports Show, this is Coach's Corner with Scott Camporeale. Thanks to Unique Homestyle Foods, proudly baking for hundreds of South Australian businesses for 35 years. Greatness in the making.
Don't like vanilla ice cream.
Ooh, there it is.
More a Dutch chocolate. I like the ones that you put, chocolate-coated nuts in it.
Okay, yeah.
Are you a cup or a waffle cone man?
Yeah, probably a waffle cone.
Two scoops. Two scoops, bit of hot sauce on the top.
Friday's loss. We've been called, when I say we, it's not we as in you, my team. We were told we were almost a team last week, vanilla this week. I've said both weeks we played dumb footy. Now the dust is settled, where do you sit?
It's easy to pile on, isn't it? That's what I find fascinating. This time, or like end of last year, Adelaide are premiership contenders, finals, and now all of a sudden, it's an interesting one because I've gone back. I've had a look at the last couple of weeks. So there is some deficiencies in their game, and we understand.
Spell them out to me because I'm a pile-on kind of guy.
Well, it's not a pile-on.
As long as you come and piling on with these unique home-style food pies.
Well, it's not a pile.
I'm just shattered.
But it's not a pile. But it's a couple of things. So take the emotion out of it. And that's what you've got to do as a coach because it's easy to get caught up in, and I've said this before, you've got to coach to trends. You don't coach for anomalies and one-offs, right? So there's in the first 2 weeks, which is all we can go on, there's a couple of trends.
Give them to me.
Okay, so they're 30% down, so they're ranked 18th Adelaide, score per inside 50 percentage. So every time they go in, they're not scoring. So that's a big decrease, and there's a couple of things to that. So I delved in a little bit further. So everything relates off that in terms of their scoring. We understand they are the number one scoring team, and I'll preface this by when you're the number one, people look at you far more in detail for two reasons. One, you get looked at because you are the number one. Now, what are Adelaide doing in terms of their ball movement? Can we add to that? Are we doing that? Is that where we need to go to? And that's what you do as coaches. You look for trends and what the opposition are doing. On the flip side to that is when we come up against them, what do we do to stop that team being the number one? Whether it's contested ball, stoppage, any of those statistics, you need to then delve into it. So what I think's happened is Adelaide themselves have gone a little bit too more around defence, so they've focused a fair bit more on that.
Cautious with ball movement, protecting the turnover.
And that reflects, so they're actually third, they've improved by 4 or 5 points now, given it's only 2 rounds, but they haven't been scored against as much this year because it's been a little bit more straight line.
Yippee.
But you sit there and you go, well, so what's the... So I actually compared, and this is for you, Timmy, as well, because this is not...
Yippee!
Well, this is not just about the Crows, because it's about Port as well, so I don't want to be biased to one team. So I had a bit of a look. So Port at the moment, so if you have a look at the inside 50 kicks, which we speak about a lot around, what's the most important kick? It's that kick inside 50, and where is it coming from?
Okay.
Right? So you'd have to say that Adelaide... There's no issues at running it around the source.
No.
Right?
They had 66 inside 50.
So they're getting it. So I had a bit of a look. From 120 inside 50s, they've had the same amount of Port Adelaide. Now, I understand they've played two different oppositions, but you can get a bit of a trend to this. So Adelaide have gone through the corridor. They've kicked the ball inside 50 33 times, right, from the corridor. That's where they've entered it from. They've gone 58 times on the left-hand side of the ground. So... You think about the game that Adelaide have played the last 2 weeks. It's been straight line. It's been down one side of the ground, which means you only can really, and your forwards and that can only really lead into that small pocket of space, right? So they've only kicked 13 or 14 goals for the season, and that's easy to defend. And they played into Tom Stewart's hands. And this week they're going to have the same probably issue if they don't do what they need to do and go back to the future, for want of a better word, because you've still got guys like Ryan and Pearce that are going to play that are good at that as well.
So you're saying they've got to open up the game.
So let me finish. So Port Adelaide, on the flip side, they've gone through the corridor 53 times. They've kicked the ball from the corridor, and they've scored 28-32. So they've had like 60 scoring shots coming through the corridor. So there's two things. One, Adelaide are not spreading the ground quick enough or using that short 45 like they have been, or got that run off half back, and they've been forced, because I think Geelong are probably as good as anyone in terms of shutting the corridor down really quickly, and we were calling the game. As soon as they look, and we saw Wayne Miller's eyes, we saw the guys, they've gone in there and they just shut it down. So that's forced Adelaide to go there. Whereas Port Adelaide, on the flip side, I watched their game, Tim, and you called it, the game. They're moving the ball by foot as quick as anyone. They turn, hit, go, bang. So they're having over 100 marks a game. Adelaide's marks have just dropped considerably from 2023 to 2024.
So they're risk avert.
Correct. So they've sort of gone into their shell. So then you go, okay, so that corridor is one thing, but where are they kicking the ball from? So as a coach, you sit there and go, where are we entering? So Adelaide could have 66 inside 50s, but it could just trickle over them, a metre over the 50s. So... most coaching is you've got to get it 0 to 30. That's your scoring radius. So you have a look at that. Adelaide have kicked 74 of their 105 kicks inside. 74 of them being kicked from outside 70. So you're not getting it deep enough to allow the forwards to go to work. And it's still in the fat part of the ground. So then they're getting counterattacked on the flip side. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So there's a couple of things in that. So so everyone's quick to pot them. So how do you solve it? Well,
is it vanilla, or is it dumb?
No, I think they've just got a bit gun shy.
Okay.
That's the way I see it, because the personnel hasn't really changed.
No.
And so now they've got to be braver. They've got to turn the ball over in better positions on the ground and then go at them and make the ground big. We talk about big and small in offence and defence from coaches. Make the ground big in offence and let's ask a question instead of just... look up, oh no, I'm going to kick it straight down the line. So they've lost a couple of key forwards, which we understand. But if you think that you're just going to score by kicking to contests, you're not going to go well in this league.
No. The other thing that people were, we'll get to the midfield, but the other thing people were a little bit bemused about is how can you have 66 inside 50s and have 29 turnovers, which is a massive stat.
Yeah.
And how could you kick it to the same bloke 8 times? So Matty Nix, Chris Burgess, who we spoke to yesterday, now defensive coach Jack Homsch, had this to say.
We came in with a number of plans, and the first one didn't work up until quarter time. There's a reason that he's a highly regarded player and rated as one of the best in the competition, and he showed that tonight.
Yeah, we had a plan going in. Unfortunately, we just couldn't get it done as a team, and yeah, he is a very good player. We got to remember that he's a 5-time All-Australian, so sometimes those players just get you done, I guess.
We did have a plan and plans going in, and to his credit, as a 5-time All-Australian, I think he's a very good player, and sometimes you got to look at it and go, sort of beaten by a guy who's at the top of his game.
So the Too Good flag went up there. That's 3 blokes from the club.
He wears his jocks on the outside. He's
so this week Fife gets 40. Too good. I don't know, next week Gawn has 52 hit-outs, 3. He's too good. Then we come home, we tell you, I don't know, Carlton, Curnow kicks 8. Too good. What?
Yeah.
What the complete... Insert swear word here.
Look, there's an element of that. And having been in the coach, sometimes you do get beaten, by the great players. Like, you sit there and go, that's just too good. But I don't think they set the game up how they needed to set the game up. So sending someone up to the stoppage, which I understand what they were trying to do.
We debated that the whole game.
You just give... Geelong are the best and Melbourne probably the top 2 teams at trying to manipulate the right matchup. So even though they were trying to get Luke Pedlar on him, as soon as Pedlar, who I don't think was the ideal because he's a hunter, you don't put a hunter... on someone that can actually then do it. So, and he take away from his strength.
At the 9-minute mark, when he took 2 marks, 1-on-1 on Peds, you said pull the trigger now. It was the 9-minute mark of the first quarter.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it was the right matchup to start with anyway. Yeah. If it was me, it'd be Darcy Fogarty. So just go and let Fog, just play on him, Fog. Like, be
strong
the
body. Whack,
and
whack,
then be able to compete with him early in the ground. And then let Luke... Get Fogg to bring it to ground. Let Luke, let Isaac, let Josh Rochelle, let those guys go to work at ground level. Now, I'll preface it, it's not... And the coaches are right in terms of sometimes if you've got a young player that leads into silly spots or they just pick up the way the flight of the ball is, those guys are great players. That's why they are who they are. But I thought that the way they moved the ball just helped Tom Stewart. He just said, I don't really care where you go, Luke Pedlar. That's pretty much what he said. I'm going to where the ball's going, and that's what Jerry McGovern does at West Coast when he was in his prime years. I remember watching hours of tape behind the goal thinking, how are we going to stop this bloke? He literally just sits there and goes, I could not give one hoot where you're going, and even if you get somewhere near the ball, I'm going to back myself to mark it airily. That's very difficult to coach again because that's just pure class and talent, which was a little bit of what happened. But when you play against guys like that, and this is when I said to Timmy about Port Adelaide, when you've got Ratugolea and when you've got Alia and Zerk-Thatcher, who are proactive defenders, if you shift the ball 3 or 4 metres one way, all of a sudden your forward can get in behind you, and then you lose your forward. But because they went so straight line, it sort of played into their hands, So, but the other thing too, Timmy, I know you want to ask me a question, is if you have a look, and we talk about marks inside 50, 13 for the total Adelaide in 2 games. They averaged 13 a game last year.
Oh, I know.
And you look at Port Adelaide,
so
they've had 42 marks inside 50 in 2 weeks. So if you want to look at potentially what's the difference, and
there it is right there.
Got to move it. Yeah, and it's easy to say because you've got a team that's trying to defend you. We understand that. And Freo won't be any easier this week, mind you.
Speed of ball movement and good kickers. Port are doing it. Crows used to do it, but they're not. So that's by instruction.
I made the comment to Rowey on Monday when we were debriefing, just saying that Port did a reasonable job against Tom Stewart the last time they played him here at Adelaide Oval. And it was purely on the back of the small forwards, just making sure he didn't get a run at the ball. And I saw some footage last night on Footy Classified where they showed McEntee and Narkle just sort of sacrificing themselves, making a contest body-wise, not actually, doing anything illegal, but it just kept him from doing what he did the other night. So it can be done, because he only took 1 mark that night.
Yeah.
So it can be done. It's just you've got to put a lot of homework in and sacrifice somebody.
Yeah, it might have been plan C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, Vanilla, P. After the break, we're going to talk about a comment that Kingy made about the Crows midfield and a comment that Bartel made about the Crows midfield. A lot of people are saying you can't have Laird, Crouch and Dawson in it. We'll come back to you.
We'll get the thoughts of Campo here in Coach's Corner. It's 20 after 5. Let's check your traffic.
Sheps Cross, breakdown there. Port Wakefield Road near Grand Junction Road affecting outbound. Bit of activity at Old Noarlunga slowing things up. Victor Harbour Road near Main South Road. And quite busy at the moment at Edwardstown South Road near Ackland Street. You'll find cameras Cross Road, Myrtle Bank and Dawes Road at Melrose Park. Push your emotions beyond expectations. The PlayStation 5 1-week sale. Save now. Ends March 31st. Price and availability vary by retailer while stocks last. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Sample football is back this week.
Timmy, we're so excited. We're taking our sports show to my old stomping ground, Norwood Oval, on the parade for the opening game as Norwood take on Sturt this Thursday.
It's tradition, it's excitement, and it's beats, eats, and footy fun with your mates. Sample, nothing beats it.
Nothing. So if you're heading along to the game, make sure you drop past and see us out the front from 4.
Absolutely, on 5AA, your home of footy.
G'day everyone, Cornsey here. Now I know a great team and I see one, and the South Australian hydraulic team I rate the highest is BL Shipway. The Shipway team are the best in the business. They've been looking after your hydraulic and pneumatic needs since 1953 with brands like Ryco, Rexroth, Enerpac, Hydac, Oilpath, EasyFit and many more. If you can't get to them, they'll send a Ryco 24/7 van to you anytime, anywhere. blshipway.com.au, a South Australian team you can count on.
Your life-changing moment could be on the line. Are you about to win the fully furnished $3.6 million Scott Salisbury Grand Prize? This is your last chance to buy tickets in the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery. Plus, your tickets stay in more than 12,000 draws, giving you a 1 in 15 chance to win. Hurry! Deadline tomorrow. Life-changing prizes, life-changing impact. Homelottery.com.au. Licence M14493.
It is official. South Australia are nuts for Charlesworth Nuts, and I have been for over 20 years because Charlesworth Nuts are good supporters of the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Oh, there you go.
They're so community-minded. I love this family and I love this organisation. That's why they've been serving us for the best and freshest nuts, fruits and chocolates for over 90 years.
90 years,
90.
That's correct. Charlesworth Nuts is 90 years young, and they're from a humble little stall in Adelaide Central Market to a citywide empire. Time flies when you're having fun, or when you're having nuts. And for generations, South Australia's own Charlesworth family have reigned as the nut royalty, and they're showing no signs of slowing down.
I love nuts.
Oh, yeah.
Love them.
Probably choc almonds my favourite.
You're a nuts man. You've
Oh,
always got them on
right.
your desk, Charlesworth.
You see it.
Yeah. They're still family owned, which I love. They're still South Australian, which is even more. And they are SA to the core. Be sure to wish them a happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
The occasion falls just in time with Easter, which is perfect. Time to treat friends, family, yourself to a sweet or savoury treat. It's Easter. Get yourself Charlesworth Nuts.
Great call. Visit one of 11 stores or order online at charlesworthnuts.com.au because fresh nuts taste better.
Xero helps you see your numbers in real time, which means cash flow here.
Shows up over here.
And receipts here.
Can be seen all the way over here.
Yep, Xero's really great.
Well, what's that about grapes?
Xero is business, but better. Try Xero free for 30 days. Visit xero.com.
5AA's Tech Talk with your host, Adelaide Tech Guy Richard Pascoe. Thanks to Harvey Norman Computers.
Whether it's the latest Samsung Galaxy S24 or the latest Apple iPhone 15, Harvey Norman has you covered. Head in store to sign up to a new up to $69 a month, 24-month SIM-only plan. And you'll get unlimited calls and texts to standard numbers and 100 gigabytes of data for use in Oz. Plus, you'll receive an $800 Harvey Norman gift card when you sign up. Tell them I sent you and you'll score a further $100 gift card. That's $900 towards your new phone. With a deal this good, there's some fine print. Minimum plan costs $1,656 over 24 months. Maximum of 5 gift cards per account. Read contracts and rate plan changes excluded. Plan cancellation fees apply. See in store for details.
Check out this great offer at a Harvey Norman store near you. With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
25 minutes after 5, Anthony Koutoufides is going to join me. Wow, it is a mouthful sometimes. Kouta's going to join us at 5:30, but Campo's here in Coach's Corner for Unique Home.
You're eating too many Charlesworth nuts.
Yeah, I have.
He's still got his first dollar.
Yeah.
I don't mind that. Hey, before we get into the midfield, you were reeling off some more stats.
Yeah, well, part of their mate, because we know they're really good at the contest, Adelaide, but if you have a look at some of their, we did say that their going well or they improved by a foot. So once again, they've gone from 2nd to 13th in terms of kick efficiency. So that's dropped away.
2nd to 13th.
But once again, that ties in because they're just kicking it long.
Right.
So it's technically an ineffective kick. Their uncontested possessions dropped, so less uncontested possession, which means you're not controlling.
Playing on, handball receives. Yep.
And also it ties into their marks. So they're 16th for marks.
Oh, my God.
So there's a trend there. But I think, as I preface it with it before, I think if they go back to the future, for want of a better word, and get back to what they've been doing, I think they'll be fine.
Okay. You're a midfield coach for years down at the Crows. The midfield mix is copping criticism. They were called vanilla by David King. We don't need to play it. We won hit-outs to advantage, clearance, centre square, yet Geelong kicks 5 goals out of the centre square and 8 goals, 6 from stoppage. Is it vanilla?
Once again, I don't jump too quick at those things. I think it's easy just to whack that particular area. Once again, this time last year, everyone's going, "Oh, what a great mix!" Once Matt Crouch got back in there,
but not this time of the year, it wasn't.
Yeah, but Matt Crouch wasn't playing.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So I guess the one thing, and I listened to Kingy's comment. The one thing that I do agree with is that they don't have a game breaker. So, for example, do they have a Christian Petrarca like Melbourne? That can power hard forward, can break the side. Correct. Most teams, Dangerfield, you talk about centre bounce, that ability to get out the front of the stoppage, and it doesn't have to be size because we get caught up in size. They've got 2 or 3 down at Port Adelaide down the road that are pretty good at it too, in Rowey, Butters and Horn Francis. They got power that they get out of the front of the stoppage instead of going either lateral or backwards. And I do agree with that, and that's something that's been probably an Achilles heel since Danger left at the end of 2016, to be honest.
So who is that player?
Well, I don't. Well, once again,
they
it's
don't
easy,
have it on the list.
Well, it's easy to say they need, but I don't. I had a bit of a look, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. I don't think they necessarily have that player on their list at this point in time, to be honest. Maybe is Pedler the one? I think he's got genuine power to get out of the front of the stoppage, and I would like to see him play more midfield minutes.
And
back him in.
The thing about that is you are robbing Peter to pay Paul a bit, putting the Rankins and Rochelle up there, because when they're inside 50, they look so much more dangerous.
Well, they went the other way, Tim. So we were. And I liked the balance of what they did against West Coast. I think they did it really well in the practice match. They started in there and they spat forward. They were up around the ball for sort of 30 seconds or a minute, and then they spat forward. And I think that works well, and I think that helps in terms of that dynamic that you need through that middle of the ground. Because what you got to remember, centre bounce, it's 50 by 50 and it's 3v3 when the ball hits the ground. So you've got to be pretty dynamic to keep that ball in the area, either win it or halve it. And as we know, with the 6-6-6 rule, you lose territory from there. Very difficult to go from one end of the ground to the other. So that's why the centre bounce is really important. But they didn't use them at all on the weekend.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't reckon I hardly saw him. So Isaac was in there a fair bit the week before, and then I reckon they said, "No, we're going to back our midfield in to get it done." So I think there's somewhere in between, which is a nice balance for that group.
Smack on 5:30. This is Coach's Corner for Unique Home Style Food Tex. Camper, you're not on this Good Friday because you're a good Catholic boy like me, and you're not working. I have to work, so Stud is filling in for you.
Is that good or I feel bad? Or
we will not say either way. We would love you, Campo. It's just a shame we'll miss you.
What's going on here, mate?
What's going on?
Don't give up your seat.
Will you miss me?
Well, Campo doesn't work good. Oh, that was outstanding. You've given. Can we win Friday?
Yes.
Done.
Yep, absolutely. I think
just move the ball quicker.
Move the ball quicker.
Open the game up more.
Yep, and get it into that forward group quicker so they get one-on-one opportunities.
Okay. Done. Unique Home Style Foods brings us Coach's Corner. Scotty Camporeale, proudly baking for hundreds of South Aussies, businesses large and small for over 35 years. Hustlers. They're hustlers. I like that word, hustler.
Yeah.
Wish I was a hustler.
Oh, yeah. You are.
You're a hustler.
You're a hustler.
Hustlers in the baking industry. Visit uniquehomestylefoods.com.au.
Campo, one of your teammates, Anthony Koutoufides, is going to join us after the headlines.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G.
This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Good evening, Mel Usher with the latest news headlines. The search for the 5 on board a fishing boat which was hit by a freak wave off Port Lincoln yesterday has ended with only 2 survivors. The Liberals have moved to 49% two-party preferred behind Labor's 51% as vote counting continues in the seat of Dunstan. Tom Jones will play the drive tonight, his first Adelaide show in 8 years. And in sport, Port's Jason Horne-Francis will miss a second week with a hamstring strain. Now checking 5AA traffic.
The Paradise Hotel, open all Easter weekend, including Good Friday. Try the buffet salad and veg bar.
At Jebbs Cross, look out for a breakdown, Paul Wakefield Road near Grand Junction, road affecting outbound. At Marion Road, Sir Bramber Drive near Cowandilla, both directions there, we're down to 40 k's. Sluggish in Old Noarlunga, Victor Harbour Road near Main South Road, speeds reduced, and sluggish at St Mary's too. South Road near Princess Parade for works. Cameras, Montague Road, Paraka, and Oaklands Road at Warradale. Cairnsy apples are the perfect fresh, healthy snack, sweet and tangy with a delicious, juicy crunch. Experience the power of great taste. Grab a Cairnsy at your local supermarket or greengrocer. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast clear tonight down to 13, mostly sunny tomorrow 25. Right now it's 22 degrees. We'll have more news at 6 and as it happens on 5AA.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
Do you think in hindsight perhaps the Libs should have held their nerve a bit? Because we've had a Vincent Tarzia statement about whether he's going to challenge or not. We've had a public apology from David Spears. We've had the canvassing of the introduction of a Labor Party style factional system. And as Dumb and Dumber shows us, there's still a chance.
Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
They might actually end up winning.
It might well be the case.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Discover the wonders of the world with Scenic Eclipse and Phil Hoffman Travel, setting the benchmark in all-inclusive 6-star ultra-luxury cruising. Scenic Eclipse features luxury suites, butler service, exquisite dining and expert-led discovery and expedition experiences for up to 228 guests. Explore iconic destinations including the Kimberley Coast, Japan, East Antarctica or Fiji and the Pacific Islands. Contact Phil Hoffman Travel. Visit pht.com.au.
Steinborner Automotive has always been well worth the trip, and now there's Barossa Mazda, Murray Street, Nuriutpa. SA's newest Mazda dealership is now open. For 40 years, Steinborner has provided South Australians with outstanding customer service, exceptional value, and a large selection of new, used, and demo vehicles. The Steinborner story continues with the opening of their new state-of-the-art Mazda dealership in Barossa Valley. Barossa Mazda. It's well worth the trip. barossamazda.com.au.
Are painful muscle cramps ruining your workout or waking you up at night? If you're low on magnesium, you can get painful muscle cramps or mild muscle spasms. Caruso's Vitamin K2 plus D3 plus magnesium contains 6 types of magnesium in a time-release formula to reduce and relieve muscle cramps when your dietary intake is inadequate. It also supports bone strength, muscle function and heart health. Caruso's Vitamin K2 plus D3 plus magnesium is available from leading pharmacies and health stores. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
Pause. That was a silent pause. Campo was leaving. Ned McHenry's come in.
Yes,
Ned's got
lots of activity going on.
There's a lot happening, and we just got caught off guard at 25-6. And when Ned comes in, he tries to demand TJ equip.
It's good.
He's got a snorkel coming out.
That's why he's got his own show.
He has too.
He does.
So we've got to share one.
There you go.
He's got his own one.
Top of the tree.
Okay, in Australia, around 2,300 children are living with childhood dementia, which takes 91 lives every year. I read that with I don't know, not heartache's not the right word, with absolute what?
It's like disbelief.
That's
Absolutely.
the word. That's the word.
And if you're anything like us, you want to help. So thankfully, 2 local legends are teaming up to make a difference. And they want to give you the opportunity to help as well.
Well, they certainly do. SA's charity, Little Heroes Foundation, I love them. They're dedicated to finding treatments for and eventually curing childhood dementia. And South Australian salad producer High Fresh Salads is committed to doing their part because it's brain food.
Absolutely. And this weekend with, you'd have all the family around, all of our kids and grandkids around on the Sunday and the rest of it. Purchase High Fresh Salads. Get them, pre-packaged salad and featuring the Little Heroes logo, and part proceeds will go towards to fight the end to childhood dementia. Now, you're also providing support for the families in need, so just do it.
Do it. Find High Fresh Salads, pre-packed salads at your local independent supermarkets and greengrocer.
Ken Hall Plumbers. We're local. We're family.
And we're a trusted South Aussie. Blocked drain? Leaky tap? Give Ken a call. Ken Hall Plumbers. 8364 5855.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
25 minutes to 6. We'll chat with Anthony Koutoufides very shortly. Carlton Great is coming to Adelaide during Gather Round. 8223 is the number as well. Getting lots of thoughts on what Campo's just been speaking about, the Crows ball movement and inside 50s.
Yeah, getting a lot of unique home-style food texts and lines available, 8223 Give Campo the job. Most sense I've heard for years. Mike from Glengowie. I listen to Campo, call of the Crows game, and watch him. He is spot on. The Crows are going to offer him a job as a forward coach.
No, when are they going to offer him a job?
So much admiration. That's from June. Well, like Campo said when he walked out, they sacked me.
Yeah, well, that's...
there was a bit of a groundswell on the back of...
Yes.
Yeah.
He knows what he's talking about.
They needed scapegoats.
He does it very well, and he keeps a very balanced view on it as well. Back to your theory about trying to either extend games into an AFL season, maybe taking back the time per quarter so that you can play more games and the like. So there's lots of theories going on about that. Craig the Truckie reckons AFL should be only 14 teams, 26 rounds, true home and away season, only the top 6 play finals.
Like it.
Once upon a time, yes, the AFL will not be having a bar of that one,
but
Craig.
who are you clipping?
But I like it. And then you get into that argument. So, which we're not sure how that'll go. Hey, guys, the opinion that the conference system, similar to the NFL, likes it. Increase the league to 24 teams. That would put the league at 22 games. If they want the 24, I'm sure they could do something like an All-Stars game or State of Origin. Top 6, each conference playoff, and the 2 conference winners play in the grand final, which is very NFL. So that I'm not sure we could get to that many teams, but if you had 10 and 10, perhaps that top 5 system comes in for that particular conference. So I don't mind that theory. The thing about it, I think AFL will go down the path of increasing 1 or 2 games, but they're going to have to bring those quarters back. I think that's the only way the AFLPA will agree to it. And the ideal timing of that, you said 25 flat. It might be the fact that it's 17 plus time on, so your quarters never go past 28, which might be the go, because then you are saving at least 20 minutes per game. If not 25.
Yeah, I like it. Unique home style food text. We ran out of time to read this one to Campo, but we can discuss it. Hi guys, please discuss the senior players who are out of form for the Crows. Dawson, Laird, Smith, Fumbly and Panicky with all the ball. Cheers, Ben. Well, let's go through them. Dawson hasn't had as good a start to his lofty heights, but he's a tick.
And why is he following Dangerfield?
Well, that was another question. That's what I said. This is on the coaches. Underneath him, you've got Riley O'Brien as a vice captain.
Yep.
I think he's had a remarkable 2 games. I'm loving his tap work. He is a massive...
You're far more impressed with his ruck work, which is great.
He has worked and worked and worked.
He likes that new rule.
Loves the new rule. He only took 1 mark on the weekend.
One mark. That's something
that'll come.
I'd like to see. That's probably more about Geelong not kicking it to him.
It is. He's a warrior. So then underneath him, you got B. Smith.
Yep.
Not his best 2 games.
Yep.
D. Fogarty needs to lift.
Yes.
Okay. Keys
seems to be playing different.
I was really going to say awful, but it's not all on him.
No.
It's not all on him.
Not quite playing the same role.
Murphy, you nearly could say awful there.
It hasn't been a good start.
Well, it hasn't been a good start.
No.
And
it's over the whole blanket of the team.
The leadership,
you'd say that the movement, and I said this to you, it's been very safe.
Yeah.
And safe doesn't get you to where you were last year. And that's the thing I've been shocked at, is the 24 version is nothing like the 23 version, where it was almost helter-skelter going forward. Well, and you heard those damning stats from
Well, I
Tampa.
said this back in November. James Rowley was the forward coach, but he's also the ball movement coach. Yep. And I know this because James said he's bloody unbelievable. I love him. Best assistant I've had. He's smart. He does the ball movement and all that. He's gone, and Scotty Burns has gone into that role. I wonder how much of pre-season has been spent doing ball movement, attacking rather than defending. And we've only got 2 games to sample it. And I'd say not a lot. And that did bother me back then.
Yes.
Now, they got time to fix it. Let's hope they can, because they're going to need to against Fremantle.
And you would say the majority of that squad would have muscle memory from what they did last year. It's not as if it's completely foreign to them. So it's a matter of getting the confidence to be wanting to do it and a licence to do it as well.
That's the key one is the licence, the instruction. Take the 45, take the risk, come through the corridor, as Scotty said, and get hit forward one-on-one.
Hey, mate, I don't know if you were watching the shows. I was watching all the footy shows last night, and I heard this one, and I thought to myself, I'm going to have to ask my partner Stephen Rowe about this one. Gary Lyon was talking about a possible trade between the Demons and the Adelaide Crows.
Gary, one for you. So clearly Adelaide will redouble their efforts to try and get Harrison Petty back to Adelaide. I think he's very keen to go. He's got one more year on his deal after this year, so 2025. Anything Melbourne would accept as a trade package to say, oh, yes?
Riley Thilthorpe will take.
Okay, you take Riley Thilthorpe.
Melbourne will take.
Okay, a little bit of ruck, a little bit of forward. Okay, so
give a bit, get a bit.
Yeah, he's a pre-agent as well, so he might go for very little in 2025.
Full forward roll, pinch hit, give Max a chop out.
Petty for Thilthorpe, I don't mind that headline.
Well, he's being silly. I mean, he's a former great of the club and a Melbourne person. So, of course, he's going to want the most. Thilthorpe, he's just being silly about that.
That's the top of the tree, isn't it?
Well, I'll come back at you. Gazza.
I'll see your Thilthorpe and I'll raise you a what?
So you give us Petty and Oliver and we'll give you Thilthorpe.
Do you still want Clayton Oliver?
I'd have him.
Still?
Yeah. What do the Crows need?
Well, they did need the
I'd
big
go
body
100
midfielder.
miles an hour. They don't want him. They've read the right act to him. Come to a different environment.
Have you say jump on the phone, 822300. Do you still want Clayton Oliver if he was a choice?
I'll tell you what I want. I want tickets to this, the Footy Feast panel show, the Blues Brothers, Anthony Koutoufides and Ange Christou, Friday the 5th of April. It's at the Bridgeway Hotel, Bridge Road, Paraka. Show starts at 8 p.m. Should be an absolute cracker. We've got one of the guests on the line, Anthony Koutoufides. Welcome.
How are you, boys? Good?
Excellent, excellent. So the Blues Brothers in town. I'm loving actually seeing what the crowd are doing as far as when they travelled up to Brisbane and all the people were dressed up in their Blues Brothers outfits. It's catching on.
It really is, yeah. So it all originated, don't forget, boys from Ange and I, yeah? The original Blues Brothers, and now it's, it's continued on. But no, it's good. There's so much great vibe around the club for the first time in a long time, and supporters are coming out of everywhere, as you know. I mean, the bandwagons are all out here now, and everyone's really happy, but it's good to see a powerful, club like Carlton back up there again. It's a really exciting time.
So, mate, you're going to team up with Ange and tell a few stories, no doubt.
Yeah.
How did you guys get together? Just at Carlton, or were you mates as young men?
You've got to be careful when you say get together, but yes, we first met down the under-19s, boys. Relax. Under-19s, I was 16, he was 17, believe it or not. And Ange had just started playing football after playing as a junior, winning competition best and fairest, and his mum and dad said, you're not playing anymore, and then he decided to play with the commission flats guys, and the Carlton actually gave the guys the jumpers, and then the recruiters went there to watch, and they spotted Ange and said, come down and see us, and 2 years later, he was playing senior footy. So he's got a great story there as a young kid who just had, ability, and parents didn't want him to play. And luckily, he got seen and ended up down in Carlton. That's when we met, and we just hit it off straight away as mates, and we continue to be great mates now.
That's brilliant. The Blues Brothers, the original. Now, what do we expect when we come to the Bridgeway Hotel? Give us one of your top shelf stories, Kudo.
An anecdote.
Give us one. If I give you my best.
Don't give the best.
There's a lot of stories of Ange and I, like night clubbing overseas, and with our parents and the things that happened, and the nights we weren't allowed to go out and we snuck out and things like that, and some great stories between him and I, and they go way back from when we first started as Ange and I, both mad Collingwood supporters playing down at Carlton, and some of the things that we did. So
you're both Collingwood supporters.
Yeah, we both were Collingwood, and he was extra mad. He would go to every game, and he just loved the Magpies. He was more passionate than what I was. I never used to go to their games, but just loved Collingwood growing up.
Gee whiz, that's incredible. Who were your idols then? Collingwood in that era.
But I loved them all, and Ange was just fascinated with Peter Dacos. I absolutely adored him, and still thinks he's God, the greatest player of all time. Which he is one of the great. There's no doubt about it. I loved them all. I don't know, from back in the early days, even Ronnie Weemouth,
Ronnie,
Renee King, and Ricky Barham off the wing and, Peter Moore and Pick. And then all of them, like Tony Shaw used to come. He had relatives 2 houses away from where I lived in Layla Thomastown. So we used to see Tony Shaw rock up. Even Wes Fellows and Michael Christian back in the day, they just had a list of... Yeah, do you remember him?
I played with him.
That year. Well, there you go.
Over at Port Adelaide. Yeah, he's a massive man.
Cooter, is this the year you've been cooking stuff up? We've been smelling it and tasting it for years, I love what you're cooking. Is this the year?
Look, I would think so. I mean, look, you don't want to put pressure on the guys, but they're definitely, the window's open, as we know, and so now's the opportunity to capitalise. And when I think of our team in the 90s, the window was open. We were lucky we won one. It could have easily been 0, but I still believe we had talent to probably win 2 or 3. But a lot of things have got to go your way, injuries and things like that. So the window's definitely open. It's really up to them now to really take that opportunity and bring back the cup. It's been 29 years this year since our last premiership. Who would have known back in 1995 when we won that premiership, and I was only 22 years of age, I'm thinking, you beauty, here comes another 1, 2 or 3. And we haven't seen one since. So they're not easy to come by, and I think Carlton, we maybe took it for granted. They're the most incredible culture, but hopefully it's time now where we get the cup back, and geez, I can't even imagine what would happen at that footy club if that happens, Mike. Well, he'll be fireworks around Melbourne, and Logan Street would just be going absolutely off. Ferraris everywhere. He'll be on for young and old.
Now, I know you like stats. Here's one for you. Carlton have never won on Adelaide Oval in 7 previous attempts. Gather round, you're playing Fremantle Saturday. Yeah. Your show's Friday. Could you win your first game at Adelaide Oval, Cooter? Hey?
Mate, of course. What are you talking about, boys? Seriously, come on, mate. You seriously, Blake? We won up in the Gabba. Who else can do that? Come back from 46 or 48 points down. Wouldn't be many other teams. No, I'm very excited, and it's always... I even found it difficult to win in Adelaide back in our days. There was something about that Oval. Maybe it's not the people, because we love the Adelaide people. The South Australians are great. Is that right?
Especially on Friday, the 5th of April.
Hey, we've just had a text. Unique home-style food text. There's a number of players, when they kick the ball, they make a noise. What was the noise they made for Ange?
Woof.
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 Yeah, so can you imagine, like, it's very close to some other word that he thought the crowd was calling out initially. Then we realised it was started with a W, so that was a bit of a relief.
Yeah, well, you can't say that now because that's
no
homophobic.
Correct.
Oh, yes. You can't say a lot of things now, so I've got to become a little bit old school, boys, so I apologise.
Yeah, well, you better be careful on Friday night. Yeah. You'll get cancelled, Cooter.
Hey, Cooter,
no, I'll be very low-key.
But entertaining. Hey, Cooter, what about... you're one of probably the few players that... you're in the Greek team of the century, but you're also in the Italian team of the century. So your father was Greek and your mother was Italian, correct?
Yeah, correct, yeah. My father was born in Egypt, but he had a Greek background, and Mum was born in Italy. So, yeah, a bit of a mixture.
Jeez.
Yeah, I know. Then I married a Macedonian lady, so my kids, I don't know what they are, really. A bit of everything, aren't they?
Oh, no, you're
just call them Australian, mate.
That's the main thing. They're all Aussies. Exactly right.
That's right. Exactly.
And Carlton fans, no doubt, or they gone to Collingwood?
What's that, sorry? Oh, no, Carlton, mate, listen, Collingwood's not allowed in our house, I'll tell you right now. If you even barrack for Collingwood, you've got to make sure you wipe your feet and clean your hands and all that stuff before you enter.
I love it, mate. Well, the Blues Brothers are on. They're at Bridgeway Hotel. It's Cooter and Ange Christo together. It should be a great show. Friday, the 5th of April, 8 p.m. Get doors open at 5:30 and get down there and have a terrific night.
Thanks, boys.
Anthony Koutoufides, our guest, one of the best players going around in that era, no doubt about that, and of course part of that magnificent Carlton 1995 premiership team. As he said, nearly 29 years now since that happened. You want to get down there and get some autographs off these blokes because it's one of those milestone things that you just don't know when that next one's coming.
He had a body, didn't he?
Oh, built like Adonis.
Yeah, and he could pick the ball up with one hand.
Yep.
You know what they say about big hands?
Nope.
Let's go to the break.
10 minutes to 6. Let's check your traffic. With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland. They are the mighty South Aussies.
Breakdown to look out from the dry home at Jepp's Cross, Port Wakefield Road near Grand Junction, road affecting outbound. Works at Cowandilla proving to be a bit slow for the drive home. Marion Road near Sildona Rabbit Drive and getting busy at Edwardstown South Road near Ackland Street, speeds at 40. Cameras the Savo, Grange Road, Hawthorne and Winifred Avenue at Glandore. Fill up with Shell V-Power 90 98, the premium fuel designed to deliver greater efficiency and improve performance. It's a decision you can feel good about. Details online. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Need a forklift? Don't just get a forklift, get a Toyota forklift. Toyota is the world's #1 forklift brand with a great range of pallet jacks, walkie stackers and reach forklifts right up to their leading Toyota counterbalance forklifts. Legendary reliability and safety with cleaner, greener electric options, Toyota can tailor the right forklift solution for you. It's all part of the Toyota Forklift Advantage. For more, visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au. Get a Toyota forklift.
Live Golf Adelaide is back, and tickets are selling fast. It's golf, but louder. Don't miss this epic weekend, packed with live music, party vibes, and world-class golfers like Rahm, Smith, and Koepka. Live Golf Adelaide, April 26 to 28. Get your tickets now at livegolf.com.
As a South Australian institution, you know who I'm talking about here, looking after SA's hydraulic and pneumatic needs for over 70 years, BL Shipway, they're the team that's the best in the business. The work they do with the best suppliers in the industry. Now they include Ryco, Rexroth, Enerpac, Hydac, Allpath, Easy Fit and many more. They have plenty of stock in their new location, which is at 71 Morfett Road. And it's a brilliant building. Drive past it, you just want to, wow, that's magnificent. Go in, you might see Shippy himself. And if you can't get in store, then jump on the blow and have a chat to them. They're always ready there to help. And if they can't help you right there on the spot, you know what they can do? They can send out the old Ryco 24/7 mobile hose repair van your way. They will take care of you. BL Shipway, brilliant. Support a great SA company when you need anything to do with hydraulics. BL Shipway is the place to go. Where are they? The new location, 71 Morfett Road, Camden Park, or go to blshipway.com.au.
Here at 5AA, we're all about supporting local. Here's who you can support around Adelaide. Barossa Valley Chocolate Company is open 10 to 5 this Easter long weekend. Barossa Valley Chocolate Company, book now for cafe dining or their popular wine and chocolate tastings. Culture your cravings with Yom, the yogurt factory's new range. All local ingredients and no preservatives, gelatine, artificial colours or flavours. Available at selected Foodlands. Purchase high fresh salads with the Little Heroes Foundation logo, and part proceeds support children living with dementia. Find them at your local Drakes and Romeos. 5AA, supporting local business.
Who can fix the shower?
Service today.
Who can fix the power?
Service today.
Yes, we can, is what we say.
Service today.
From emergency plumbing to electrical and heating and cooling, no matter what size job you need, at Service Today, the answer will always be yes, we can. It's Service Today guaranteed, or it's free. Can you fix the shower? Yes, we can. Can you fix the power? Yes, we can. Yes, we can, is what we say. Service Today. Look out for our bright yellow trucks.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
6 minutes to 6. Now, of course, today, guys, which is a very special day.
It is.
Charlesworth Nuts has celebrating their 90th birthday, which is so fantastic for them.
Incredible, isn't it?
We have the great Jane Riley to help us celebrate.
Jane Riley here, and I'm at the Adelaide Central Market right next to the Charlesworth Nuts stall. Today they are celebrating being 90 years young. It all started on March the 26th, 1934. Third generation owner operator Brett Charlesworth is with me. Congratulations, Brett. How did it all start?
Thank you very much, Jane. It, as you say, all started 90 years ago today with my grandparents, Herb and Doris Charlesworth. They bought this nut stall at the Central Market right on this very spot that we're standing here today, and opened a nut stall, wanted to specialise in nuts and dried fruits, and that's what we've been doing ever since for 90 years.
How much has the stall changed in the past 90 years?
The stall has actually changed quite a lot. It's, as I said, the same site, but it's doubled in size. We've gone through a number of facelifts shifts over the years. So the stall has changed, but the market itself, the atmosphere, the people, the products themselves, still the same quality, still the same freshness, and the market has just such a magical character about it. Still very much the same as it was all those years ago.
One of the things I always think of when I think of Charlesworth nuts is that smell of roasting nuts.
Yep.
It's just amazing. It makes you want to buy some and eat them straight away. Whose idea was that?
So that was an idea of my father's, Chappie, back in the 1950s. He thought that introducing hot roasted peanuts into the market, particularly the cold nights in winter, the smell of the roasting nuts, the taste of them, it became synonymous with the market and has been with the company ever since. We still roast our nuts in every store, every day.
Wow, they smell delicious here today. So when you started 90 years ago, how many products did you have and how does that compare to today?
So when we first started 90 years ago, there was only 30 products in the range. It was just nuts and dried fruits. But since then, we've expanded the range to over 150 nuts, fruits, chocolates, mixes, and we've also introduced a lot of gifts into our range. We have over 100 gifts at times.
Do you have a favourite nut or fruit?
I have two. My very favourite nut is salted macadamias. Absolutely beautiful, rich, buttery. I love the salt. And I also spoil myself every night with our raspberry lollipops. I have 8 of those every night just to spoil myself while reading a book and relaxing at night time. So 2 products.
Well, Brett, my favourite is the salted millionaires mixture.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That is actually our most popular product, Jane. So you made a very, very good choice there.
Well, Brett, to the whole family and your business and all your workers, there's over 300 of them, congratulations on being 90 years young. It's a magnificent achievement.
It is a magnificent achievement, Jane, and thanks to everyone who's working for us and who has worked for us. They are the people who have made Charlesworth Nuts what it is today.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done, Jane. We love that. So if you'd like to win yourself a $100 Charlesworth Nuts voucher, we have one to give away. 8223 0055. Charlesworth Nuts are 90 years young, still family owned, still South Australian, still the best nuts, fruits and chocolate in town. It's 3 minutes to 6. News time coming up, and Ned McHenry is going to join us here live in studio next.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Fresh nuts, melt-in-your-mouth chocolates, and eye-popping Easter gifts. G'day, folks. I'm Brett Charlesworth, and there are 3 irresistible reasons to visit Charlesworth Nuts and make your family's Easter extra special. And here's 3 more. We're South Australian, we're 4th generation and still family owned, and on the Tuesday before Easter, Charlesworth Nuts turns 90 years young. You're always welcome at our 11 family-owned stores or shop online. Why Charlesworth? Because fresh nuts taste better.
Hey, you in the car. If your next service is due, just remember that Mawson Lakes Mazda has your back. We'll take care of you with next day servicing, complimentary loan car, vacuum and wash, and your breakfast or lunch is on us. Your car gets the love too, with our state-of-the-art service centre brimming with top-trained mechanics. At Mawson Lakes Mazda, we'll look after your car and look after you. Mawson Lakes Mazda, just a short drive from the city.
Now, childhood cancer diagnosis is one of the most difficult things a family could ever go through. It's easy to feel helpless, but thanks to the legends in our community, there's always ways to help. The Childhood Cancer Association has been providing essential support services to families battling childhood cancer for over 40 years. Now, this Good Friday, they're joining forces with the great people, Marwan, Phil, thank you, at Grange Jetty Cafe for a day of family fun and an opportunity to help the families in need. So get down there if you've got an opportunity. It's a brilliant little spot there right on the jetty, so you can't miss it, Grange Jetty Cafe. Join them for live entertainment. There'll be face painters, dance acts, and even Easter Bunny's going to turn up. That I'm definitely going. 100% of the proceeds going straight towards the Childhood Cancer Association. They will not be keeping 1 cent for any other reason but the Childhood Cancer Association. So don't miss the Childhood Cancer Association's Easter appeal. It's this Good Friday at Grange Jetty Cafe. Be there.
SEW Eurodrive is a global designer, developer and manufacturer of drive technology. Our comprehensive range of product solutions include high-efficiency electric motors, industrial gear units, motor controllers and more. Combined with our standard of engineered solutions, after-sales technical support and service, we can swiftly deliver the right drive to suit your application. Visit sew-eurodrive.com.au. SEW Eurodrive. Driving Australian industry since 1982.
Ken Hall Plumbers. We're local, we're family, and we're a trusted South Aussie. Blocked drain? Leaky tap? Give Ken a call. Ken Hall Plumbers. 8364 5855.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio, and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Clear tonight, down to 13. Mostly sunny tomorrow, 25. With the 6 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher.
Electrical issues? Ken Hall Plumbers also provide electrical services. For reliable electrical services, give Ken a call.
A mass casualty incident has been declared in the US after a major bridge in the city of Baltimore completely collapsed. It was struck by a large container ship. Footage shows the key bridge breaking apart and falling into the water. There are reports of multiple cars and people in the water following the collapse. The search for 5 people on board a fishing boat hit by a freak wave off Port Lincoln yesterday has ended with only 2 survivors. 3 bodies have been found in the water today, SAPOL confirming the deaths late this afternoon. Reports are being prepared for the coroner. A 44-year-old man and a 13-year-old boy, both from Torrens Park, were located on a reef and winched to safety. They have non-life-threatening injuries. A police operation focusing on public safety and robberies in Rundle Mall is keeping busy. They've made half a dozen arrests and 2 reports in the past 2 days. Among the 4 incidents today, a 16-year-old from Northfield was allegedly caught with a machete after stealing clothing from a sports store. A 14-year-old boy was allegedly found in possession of a knife and a female's handbag, while several people have been busted with meth. Hundreds of people gathered in Melbourne today for a memorial service to farewell Jesse Baird, who was allegedly murdered alongside his partner Luke Davies in Sydney. A number of Channel 10 personalities and AFL umpires were among the mourners, paying tribute to the 26-year-old. Jesse Baird's siblings spoke at the service.
Growing up with you as my brother has been the greatest gift life has ever given me.
Being Jesse's sister definitely had its perks. I never paid for an AFL game. I scored VIP tickets to shows and musicals. But most of all, it had its perks because of the person he was and the reputation he had.
The gap between the Libs and Labor has narrowed even further in the seat of Dunstan as the vote count continues. Pre-poll and postal votes are favouring Anna Finizio, but Cressida O'Hanlon is still in front, just at 51 to 49% two-party preferred. The gaming regulator is confident Crown Melbourne will not repeat the sins of its past after deeming the casino fit to keep its licence. Stephanie Wacklowick has more.
A special manager has been monitoring the casino for the past 2 years, and Victorian Gambling and Casino Control Commission Chair Fran Thorne says the Commission is satisfied Crown Melbourne is running honestly and free of exploitation and will never again prioritise profit over the safety and well-being of its patrons and staff.
Not the same people who were there that allowed the sins of the past to happen. It is a new board, a new owner.
The casino was put on notice after a Royal Commission found it had engaged in disgraceful behaviour by facilitating money laundering and organised crime. Gaming Minister Melissa Horne wouldn't say whether she believes it's the right decision or what it would take for the casino to lose its licence, but warns if the casino doesn't stay in line, the government won't hesitate to act.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Armani, Canali, Xenia. Find them all at Ignition for Men, Adelaide's home of luxury menswear, 54 Paynham Road, Stepney.
Port's Jason Horne-Francis will miss a second week with a hamstring strain. He was unable to get through training today. Geelong veteran Tom Hawkins admits a decision on whether he'll play on next season isn't on his radar. It comes as Hawkins prepares to play his 350th AFL game this Monday against Hawthorn at the MCG.
I get the interest in my future. I'm a 35 turning 36-year-old. I'll continue to enjoy myself in here, and then at some stage we'll sit down and make that decision, but it's certainly not on my radar at the moment.
Collingwood coach Craig McRae insists Steele Sidebottom and Scott Pendlebury are still physically at the top of their game despite a form slump. McRae is expecting them to improve their output as the season drags on.
No, I think in those two in particular, we look for things we can measure, and most of them are doing PBs. In the gym, out there for GPS, high speed, all the things we can look at to see that they are at the top of their game, those things are real right in front of us.
That's sport. Now checking 5AA traffic.
The Paradise Hotel. Open all Easter weekend, including Good Friday. Try the buffet salad and veg bar.
A few breakdowns to look out for. One at Kensington, Port Race Road near Kensington Road. Another one at Crayfors West, Freeway Uptrack near the Meastays Ramp. Another one at Jeps Cross, Port Wakefield Road near Grand Junction Road. Slowly going at Old Noarlunga, Victor Harbour Road near Main South Road. And Cameras Fisher Street, Narvin, and Winifred Avenue at Glandore. Feeling tired? Get your daily dose of energy with Synovus Men's Multi-Plus Performance. Always follow the directions for use. Relieves fatigue, supports energy levels. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Down to 13 tonight, mostly sunny tomorrow 25, Thursday sunny 26, Friday more of the same and 29. Right now it's 23 degrees. Now let's check what's happening on 9 News tonight.
Thank you, Michelle. I'm Kate Collins. Tonight's headlines. 3 people have been killed while a teenager and his father have survived when their boat capsized on a Port Lincoln fishing trip. Adelaide hospitals have scrapped elective surgeries due to overcrowding concerns. And Adelaide Oval will host the second test from the 6th to the 10th of December. 9 News, your news, nightly at 6 on 9 and on 9 Now.
The news and issues that matter to South Australia. Always Adelaide. This is 5AA.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Yeah, it's 7 minutes after 6 on this Tuesday evening. News has come in from the AFL Tribunal for Peter Wright's case. He has been suspended for 4 matches. That's what the AFL were asking for, nothing less, so they've got their wish. And the Essendon Footy Club, I suppose, have a choice to appeal that if they'd like, but I dare say that'll be accepted. 4 matches for Peter Wright.
Yeah, I think that's going to be accepted and moved on and set as a bit of a standard. So that's what
a
is
joke.
Happening.
Hello, Nettie.
Well, it looks like Nettie, who joins us now,
Being
because
belted
after
up.
6:30 he will be doing the TJM fishing show. But Ned, you look like you might have been in a incident. You've got a shiner.
I was in a bit of an incident, Timmy. Hello to you both, and you, Sammy, of course. I've got anyone watching the live stream can see that. I've got a bit of a black eye. I'm looking pretty tough over here, aren't I?
What
if I don't say.
Did you zip when you should have zapped?
Well, a bit of that. I just sat under a bit of a ball, and obviously I'm not the biggest guy, Stephen, am I? So, I got cleaned up, but it's not too bad. It's a little bit tender.
What made contact?
In terms of...
was it a fist, a knee, a hip?
I'm not too sure. It was coming at me so quick. Not too sure, Timmy. Didn't quite catch it.
Come
I
from
think
the front?
maybe a forearm. I think it came from me from the front.
Right.
So I got a bit of a sore cheek.
So
But
it got you in the cheek, not the nose?
No, just the cheek.
Oh,
Yeah, I've got a
okay.
small little crack in my cheek here under the eye,
nasty. Yeah.
and a little bit of swelling. But it's really not that painful. You can see me. I'm touching that now.
Well, okay, if you
Not
were
sore.
concussed, he would have got 4 weeks.
Yeah. Oh, it's not that simple.
Well,
It's
it's his
not.
own
It's not
player,
that
though.
outcome
Yeah.
based, is it, Stephen, or not? Or you think it is?
Well, I think it is.
Well, you're not
Well, that's
happy
the way
about
it's
all that, is
going.
it?
Would you think Peter Wright should have got 4 weeks?
Haven't looked at the incident closely enough. 4 seems about right. I don't think you're knocking some bloke out these days and leaving the ground and getting less than 4. That seems to be a
Yeah.
standard, doesn't it?
Okay.
That's what I reckon. They've set that as a standard. And
Are you happy with that? As a player, how hard is it to play the game now?
It's hard.
Because you're a brave player. You're courageous.
Yeah, yep. But
You go in hard.
But Peter Wright's action wasn't... I wouldn't class that as courageous, would you? That's not courageous.
Well,
What
no,
Peter
the
Wright
bloke
did.
that was coming back
Cunningham
did.
did was
But he's got
courageous.
4 weeks for a mark. If he had taken the mark, he would have been sweet.
Mm.
Game's getting harder to play.
It is getting harder to play, yeah. Well, I don't
You
know.
agree
I've only
with
had
that?
this sample, but I think the last
Right.
couple of years, the emphasis around concussion, we've spoken about it on the show, haven't we, so much? It's made it more challenging. You're thinking about every single action out there. Because, as you say, if you cause someone a concussion, regardless of the incident being quite footy-ish and you know, something that we've seen previously in footy games, you're stuffed. You're going to miss a lot of footy.
It doesn't cater for footy accidents. Remember the Dave Mackay one? Mackay? When
Well,
they both went at
rightfully
the ball?
he was
yep,
cleared.
yep.
Rightfully he was cleared. But
Yep.
that was
Yeah.
2 blokes going
Well,
hard
he'd
at the
get-
footy.
he'd get games
It was
now.
a 50-50 ball. No, I'd hope that would be still in that footy action mode, not because he made the ball.
Hasn't the commentary, sorry to interrupt you, the commentary around the Peter Wright stuff's been a little bit polarising, hasn't it? Some people have actually thought that was, he should walk.
Yeah.
He should get off.
Yeah.
Where do you two sit on that? Surely not.
Walk, he should get off.
You think he should get off?
No,
I do.
Really? After leaving the ground and getting someone's head? Do you think he should get off?
Well, the other dude was coming back with the flight of the ball. Where's his duty of care?
No, he didn't. Peter Wright didn't attempt to either mark or punch, and that's where he went wrong.
Yeah.
Well, he took his
He
eyes
needed
off
to,
the
he
ball.
needed to
All
make
right.
one of those two.
After leaving the ground.
He needed to make one of those two decisions.
Yeah.
Either punch the ball or try and mark the ball, and he didn't do either. He just went, I'm going to protect myself here, and just bang.
A little bit of sense from you, Timmy. It's refreshing in this studio, seriously.
I get a drive-by every week.
Every week.
I do love it.
What's next on your list over there, Stephen? What do you got for me? Come on.
Have you got one on?
Well, no, I'm going to go down this line.
Go
Last
for it.
week the team was called almost. This week vanilla. I've said both weeks dumb. How can you have that much ball, get that much ball inside 50 and turn it over that much and kick it to one bloke and lose? How can you be that dumb as a team?
Yeah, you're fired up, aren't you, Steve? I do like that. Look at you.
Did you like that one, Mr. TJM?
Yes.
Stick that snorkel where the sun don't shine.
Yeah. Okay, Stephen, you just said
Well, no,
right down.
TJM snorkels, ball bars.
What about the sun don't shine bit? How do you justify that with the sponsor?
Well,
what, with an awning or something? Maybe an awning to keep the sun on.
There you go.
Let's keep it to football.
TJM it. You TJM it. See, you're diverting.
Yeah. No, I'm not.
Answer me that,
Come
young
on.
fella.
All right. Yeah, well, I will answer it. I don't think it's as simple as what you've put out. It's not dumb. It's not dumb, right? But some things we got wrong. It's as simple as that. So our method with our forward of centre entry and our forward 50 entry wasn't at the level, Timmy. It wasn't as good as what we wanted it to be. And we'll look to improve on that. But there are a lot of positives. You know, the competition is even at the moment. It's difficult to win games. We'll back ourselves in to make a few small adjustments and fix all that up pretty quickly.
You haven't been that far away. And I think more so in this game than the first week. And hit the front in the third term.
Yeah.
So we're not talking like it's a mountain away. It's only a very short distance of improvement.
Yeah.
And part of that might be just maybe getting that confidence back to move the ball, at speed and more, maybe taking that risk that I don't see at the moment.
You know what, Timmy? I feel the same way as you, and what you just summarised beautifully there. I feel like we actually haven't played that well, to be honest, and we probably haven't played the style which you're alluding to that we want to play. And we
that you had last year, that I saw last year.
We've still been in games against sides that I think are quite good. So I think there's heaps of upside. We, as a club and as a playing group, need to just lean into this challenge. Just understand that it is difficult to win AFL games. We're going to win a lot of games this year.
That's right.
And things are going to improve, a lot quicker.
Starting this week,
a lot quicker than what people might think at the moment.
Why'd you point at me?
No, I'm not pointing at you. What do you think?
Yeah, you did point.
No, I did point. We need to go back. Score review on that. Score review on the live stream.
Take the game on, mate. Here's Matty Nix.
I'll take you on in a minute.
Here's Chris Burgess. And here's Jack Hompsch from the game Friday to Saturday to Sunday. Have a listen.
We came in with a number of plans, and the first one didn't work up until quarter time. There's a reason that he's a highly regarded player and rated as one of the best in the competition, and he showed that tonight.
Yeah, we had a plan going in. Unfortunately, we just couldn't get it done as a team. And yeah, he is a very good player. We got to remember that he's a 5-time All-Australian. So sometimes those players just get you done, I guess.
We did have a plan and plans going in, and to his credit, as a 5-time All-Australian, I think he's a very good player. And sometimes you got to look at it and go, we're sort of beaten by a guy who's at the top of his game.
That was on Geelong's Tom Stewart, that he had 9 intercepts. We just kept kicking it to him. Where do you sit with those three comments?
Yeah, the comments sounded quite similar, didn't it? It sounded like someone had been in their ear and was telling them exactly what to say.
I'm glad you said that.
That's what it sounded
They're
like.
drinking the same bathwater. So the too good. He's just too good. You know what? He's just too good. So this week, that 5 kicks for, you know what? Too good.
No. Well, it's not that simple. What it is he was really good on the night, but our method meant that we allowed him to be really good. And, if Tom Stewart is getting the balls that were coming in, it brings into his aerial and some of his strengths. If we can move the ball off the line a little bit, I think that helps us as a group.
Yeah.
But I think what they did say is fair enough, right? He's a good player. Every single team going into playing Geelong, you know, they're going to put time and energy into Tom Stewart, and he still finds ways, you know, to play well consistently. That's what the good teams do. You would have got tagged Timmy all the time. You don't let that stop you, do you?
No, not after the first time when I didn't know what was happening. So it was a bit of a surprise. But your point where you said, you know how you go down the line, if you like, switching that ball, it seemed like almost that's back to my point about not having either the confidence or the belief to change direction. And it seemed like that long ball, which he loved, in the end he was just going, I don't care who I'm on, I'm just going to take this mark. The way to take that away from him is obviously taking the risk and going on the 45 and getting it over the other side of the ground to keep it away from him. And that confidence level didn't seem to be in the whole team unit.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good summary to me. I think we wanted to take the ball off the line a little bit more than what we did on the night. So we reviewed that, we looked at that, and we thought there were opportunities to do that a bit better. There's still going to be times where we need to go direct, and we don't want to stuff around. Like, how often do you hear fans in the stands saying, get it in, get the bloody thing in. And that's so right too. Like, get the footy in, give our forwards an opportunity to compete and play. But at times we've got to get the ball off the line, you know, and move the ball to make it a little bit less predictable for the Tom Stewart types.
Did Smokey Smith get fined for the worst kick in the history of the Crows?
What, the fine from us as a playing group?
Yeah,
I don't even remember his kick. Did he do a bad kick, did he?
Well,
we all do bad kicks. Did you see me miss 2 or 3?
No, he kicked it out of bounds on the full.
Came off his boot sideways.
Oh, yeah.
Can't you remember that one?
No, I
on
can't
the
remember that specifically, no. Did you see my one? Yeah, I've only got one eye at the moment. I'm a bit of a pirate. Yeah.
Do you watch
everyone's missed kicks? Did you see me miss a kick in the corridor?
That's right. You have a crack. When you sit on the bench as a sub, do you watch or you just...
No, mate, I just watch Netflix. Yeah, I've got an iPad. I'm doing a really good series at the moment. So Nixie says, mate, you just watch Netflix. Just chill out.
Yeah, all right.
The world's greatest catch.
What do you think? Seriously, you just asked me if I watch the game. What do you think I do on the bench?
Well, whenever the camera pan to the coach's box down there, this is on the Unique Homestyle Food text, there's a question. Why does Matty Nix, every time the camera pans to him, look at his iPad? Every single time. What's he looking at?
On his iPad?
Well, he's got a little computer or an iPad there, but when the camera, the Channel 7 or Fox, pan to the bench because he's on the boundary with you guys, he immediately looks at his iPad.
Yeah, I think he'd be, I'm being presumptuous, I don't know in that instance, but I'm guessing he'd be looking at stoppages or styles of play or key indicators of the game. Yeah. Because remember, you're on the bench, you need to see things aerially to see how other teams are setting up, see what's happening behind the ball, all that different stuff. So it's crucial that our coaches are looking at
So
that
he
stuff.
would have behind goals footage and he's saying, well, how did they get that goal? Why do we keep kicking at Stewart? Then he
look at a stoppage setup. Oh, they might be bringing a forward up and they've got an outnumber. We need to match that or whatever it is. No, they see all that.
Okay. All right. Well, when we come back from the break, I'm going to ask you a simple question. I'm going fishing Easter. You guys are playing Friday in Perth. We'll talk about Fremantle if you like. I want to know, do I go and chase tuna or whiting? Because a lot of us are going to make that decision.
Absolutely. Can we talk about one more footy thing? You know, in Gather Round, there's all these ex-famous footballers who are all coming over for a boxing match. Are you guys aware of that?
Oh, look, I am.
Yeah. So, 2 questions. First question. We've been talking about concussion in Adelaide. Have you guys already known about this or not?
I read it out to Rowey when it got released, and I was like, I cannot fathom why this can possibly go ahead.
What the heck?
With everything around CTE.
How much are they paying these blokes to get into a ring and just bash each other? It seems ridiculous. Keezy and I at the club today were talking about it. With all the commentary around concussion and how much we know now as an athlete, what your brain goes through, why would you voluntarily just step into the ring and just start beating the shit out of each other?
None of these blokes, number one, can put their hand up for the class action. That's number one. And number 2, a lot of them will do anything for money. And number 3, it's not an AFL sanctioned game.
No, it's not. That's probably the reason it's going ahead. But
it seems unusual to me.
I hope they got massive headgear and that big bubble wrap stuff around them.
Yeah,
like that. That's the only reason I can sort of think that can happen.
And 30
I'm with you.
Gloves.
I was bewildered.
Gloves.
You need a lot of padding on,
I was bewildered.
Sounds a bit tone deaf at this time, doesn't it?
There would have been a really riveting conversation over the gym with you and Keezy.
Yeah,
it would have been riveting.
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't need any padding in a boxing match. You got plenty.
19 after 6.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
The countdown to Easter is on at the Adelaide Central Market, and that means the market is overflowing with fresh local produce and all your Easter essentials.
Join me and David live, followed by Mornings with Matthew Pantelis this Thursday at the Adelaide Central Market, the only destination for Easter.
Support local this Easter with extended trading hours and discover everything from local produce to hot cross buns, gifts and SA seafood.
We'll see you on Thursday.
Get away to the picturesque Adelaide Hills this Easter and rediscover the Oakbank Easter Racing Carnival. Enjoy the best in local food and wine between the trees, or bring your own picnic to enjoy on the rolling green hills. There's non-stop racing action on the track, a family-friendly atmosphere off the track, and you can even spend the weekend at our popular camping ground. Tickets and hospitality options are selling fast. Visit oakbankracingclub.com.au.
Get great value hands down this Easter at Coles, with any 2 of our 6 packs of award-winning Coles brand hot cross buns for just $6. That's 50 cents per bun. That's great value hands down at Coles.
Roll up, roll up. Elmo's Circus Dream is coming to Adelaide for the first time. Catch all the fun of this fantastic theatre show with Elmo, his Sesame Street friends and amazing circus stars. Join Elmo and his friends as they discover their hidden circus talents with singing, dancing, acrobatics, illusions and much more. It'll be an unforgettable day of great family fun at Elmo's Circus Dream in Adelaide for a limited time from March 30. Get your tickets now at sesamestreetcircus.com.au.
It's a frightening thought, but what if you lost the capacity to manage your financial affairs? If you're not at the helm, who makes medical or health decisions? Who controls the family trust? From the simplest to the most complex wills and estate plans, Donlan Lawyers will answer your questions and help carry out your wishes. For wills and estate planning, visit donlanlawyers.com. That's donlanlawyers.com. Hindmarsh Square, Adelaide, and Ocean Street, Victor Harbour.
Thinking about a solar battery? Don't wait. Connect with NRG Solar and bring home a solar battery with a rock-solid 10-year warranty. Use the energy you generate during the day. Store some for later, reducing reliance on energy providers and putting money back in your pocket. See NRG Solar in their new premises at St Mary's. Bigger place, better space, some amazing people. Visit NRG Solar now at 1275 South Road or call 1300 858 160.
Need an electrician and need one today? Give Ken a call. Ken Hall Electricians. Ken is your local electrician, and with his trusted team, Ken promises qualified, licensed, safe, efficient work. Give Ken a call. Ken Hall Electricians, 8364 5855.
Hi, it's Wayne from Wayne Phillips Kia. If you're in the market for a new car, you can't go past Kia at SA's #1 Kia dealership, Wayne Phillips Kia. We've got a huge range on display now with electric vehicles including the high-performance EV6 and the just-released EV9, a simply amazing large SUV. If you already own a Kia, book it in for service into our new state-of-the-art service centre at Lonsdale. Mention this ad and you'll get a free car wash with your service. At SA's #1 Kia dealership for the past 8 years, Wayne Phillips Kia, Main South Road, Ranella.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
23 minutes after 6 here on this Tuesday, the 5AA Fishing Show with Ned McHenry coming up very shortly. And don't forget, the Childhood Cancer Association Easter Appeal is coming up this Good Friday at the Grange Jetty Cafe. 100% of the proceeds go to the charity. Wonderful opportunity.
Take the kids down there. It'll be a cracking day.
Okay, let's talk fishing. And if I was a fish, Nettie
Yes,
said I'd be
please.
a puffer fish, wouldn't I? I'd probably be a puffer.
Never
Would I be a
said that.
puffer?
No, you'd be a nice streamline whiting. You'd be
That's the question for
a nice
me.
fat full one out of Tumby Bay. Bang!
Oh,
just when you thought you got a good one.
Just setting up lob. So fishers like me would be saying, do I go for tuna down south or do I go for whiting?
Yes.
What's your advice, Lenny?
Good question. We've just been on the full moon, so just coming out of the full moon now. And tuna, Timmy, can be a little bit tough on the full moon. They often eat at night, so they can be a little bit slow. So as we come off that full moon, they will improve. And there's been a lot caught off Morgan's Beach and Cape Jervis area. So for the fishers launching at Cape Jervis and Marina, it's a really good option. heaps and heaps of fish out west. So for our Port Lincoln listeners out that way, even further west, there's been heaps of tuna caught, which is brilliant. But on your question, Rowey, I'd still definitely be looking at the tuna as an option. Before they leave, we can catch whiting all year. We can only catch our tuna through from kind of December to, April. So let's make the most of it while they're here.
Okay, well, we're hiring a little shack at Carricalinga, the family.
Beautiful.
So I can put the boat in at Warina and just duck around
Fantastic.
to the beach and see how we go. But I was
Does
thinking,
anybody catch garfish anymore?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Timmy. It's
The
been
good weather?
Yes.
I love it.
Yep, on those still days. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we did an episode. You need to go back in our podcast,
Okay.
Timmy, and listen. About 4 weeks ago,
Oh,
5
hello.
weeks ago, we did a garfish masterclass.
Yeah.
Oh, yummy.
Do you know what we did last week?
No.
We ate shitfish.
No, I had some.
Yeah. Did you eat it?
Carp.
the
Yeah, it was
carp.
beautiful.
How good was it?
Well, it's pretty
Done
amazing.
by Chris Jarmer. What do you
it's
want?
not. Well, that's exactly right. It's not fair that
Chris did it.
fancy mate easy
Yeah.
that Chris Jarmer gets to cook it. But anyway, hey, back to the tuna. Are the barrels popping up yet at Port Mac?
Yes, I'm
I saw your eyes
excited
light
about
up.
this. You sensed
Sam,
it in
you
me.
see his eyes light up?
So for our listeners that don't know what a barrel is, that's 100-kilo tuna, southern bluefin tuna. So the same species that just cruise around our 12-kilo models at Cape Jervis, Timmy, and
The
Victor
little jelly
Harbour,
beans.
the little jelly
Yeah.
beans. These ones are 100 kilo, a whole different class of fish.
Bigger than Ned.
Yes. No,
How
they're
long would
huge.
that take to reel in?
The shortest fight I've had, I've caught over 10. The shortest fight has been about 45 minutes. The longest one, I was on one that was 130 kilo out from Port Lincoln last year, and that was about 3.5 hours. So
you're basically reeling in Tom Hawkins.
yeah. and a
hard work.
zesty Tom Hawkins too, and up and about Tom Hawkins.
Wow.
yeah,
That's hard work.
I know.
How
Agree.
far out you got to go for them?
At Port
The
Mac,
Intercontinental Shelf?
Port MacDonald. Yeah, it's not far. You kind of start fishing about 15k off the shore from Port MacDonald.
Okay.
Marion Bay, they were caught last year on the other side of Althorpe, so that's not far away from the ramp
Heard
at all.
that.
So they're quite accessible. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens with these barrel tuna, because they're only weeks away to me. Last year I caught my first one in Gather Round. So
wow.
how far
Okay.
away are we from Gather Round now?
Next weekend.
Well, there you go. Pencil it in.
Was there a fishing ban around the southeast there for a while though, Ned? Has that been lifted? That's the Port MacDonald area?
Yes, so with the abalone virus.
Yes,
God,
that's
look,
right.
How good is he?
I remember
Just
this.
our host of the fishing show.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm actually got to clarify whether line fishing is in play at the moment. I know people with craypots and stuff can't be fishing at the moment. So
Yeah, we'll learn about
let's,
that a little later.
over the break.
Well,
we'll
hang
know that.
on, Turbo. Don't suck up his clacker.
No.
He's just the host. I launched your career at fishing.
Oh.
And
You're claiming him.
No, to be fair to Sam, he's got the abalone virus, so he's trying to shake it, aren't you,
I
mate?
am.
Yeah.
Of course I am.
You've had it for a couple of days.
Yeah.
What, I haven't noticed that. What's he?
He's a little bit sick.
You've been
That's why he knew
you've been
about
a bit
it.
sick, mate.
Mate, I'm fully sick. I've always been
Fully sick.
That's
Fully
right.
sick, bro.
Yeah.
Well, looking forward to TJM Equip. Have a good fish tomorrow.
Thank you. I will. Well, I'll give you the report tomorrow. I'm going to go and
Please
try and
text me.
check out these tuna tomorrow, Cape
Okay.
Jervis.
Text me.
I'll let you know how they go.
Now, what are we doing after the break? What do you got? Your hot
big
spots.
Big show, really big show. Shane Mensforth, he's got to be SA's most well-known fisher, doesn't he?
He is. Great man.
Or maybe second now.
He'll be down at Toy Orchid as we speak.
Well, Ty Orchid, he loves it down there, doesn't he? At Henley Square.
Every time I've been there, he's there blocking his bung.
Ah, okay. What does blocking his bung mean?
Let's-
You've eaten a fair bit.
What is that?
Means you've
Well, your
eaten a
bung's
fair
your
bit.
mouth.
No, it's not.
I thought you meant blocking your bung as in the back end.
No, the front
we
end.
don't
Exactly
need
what
to-
he
Keep it clean, mate.
Oh, my God, Timmy, what the heck?
And we also have the biggest guest of the year on the fishing show tonight too, Ned.
You only get a half hour.
Yeah. I honestly don't know how you do it. So we've got
Who's the
Shane
guest?
Mensforth coming
Yeah.
on. Just shush, I'm running through the show. And then we've got my grandma's coming on to do an annual review.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So she listens to, well, it's not beautiful. She'll probably be scathing in her feedback, but she listens to every podcast episode. So I said, Grandma, come on. It's your time. You've got 5 minutes. Lay down the law. What does Sammy need to do better? What do I need to do better? What
she
are we
a
doing
fisher?
well? She's a fisher. She loves her fishing. Grew
So
up
who
in
got
Tassie.
you into fishing? Your grandmother?
Well, Grandma, she was a fisher out of Tassie in Smithton, catching whiting out there. Smithton.
Okay.
Did I pronounce that correctly? I think it's Smithton.
You did.
Yeah,
They don't get
thank you,
whiting
Timmy.
off at Tassie, do they?
Of course they do. They get massive whiting over at Tassie. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So she's still in Tassie?
No, she's at Queenscliff now near Geelong. But she's coming on the show. She's listened to every single podcast since our inception.
I'm going to tune in. I'd like her to
looking
know
forward to
whether
the slap.
your performance has decreased or increased since I'm no longer on the show.
Yeah, well, she loves you, Stephen, which makes one of very few, but she loves Stephen Rowe. So we'll just get you out of the studio before she starts, loving on you.
All right, well done, mate.
Timmy, you're a bit nice for her. She likes a bit more of a bad boy, a bit more of a,
She should see me after dark.
He's your grandma. You're not allowed to drink beer for how many more weeks?
Oh, too many.
Yeah.
What's
He's
happened
a
there?
bit prickly because he's been
on edge.
His doctor's got him off the beer.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
And he's very prickly.
Doctor, I thought you were going to say mates. You were being a bit of a menace there, were you?
I got 2 months ago.
Okay.
That's a long
Right, have a good show, TJ and Equip.
6:30, we'll do more of the fishing show with Ned next.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
About 1 million Australians haven't been put through to the tax office when calling the financial